We're turning to the United Arab Emirates now. The country is celebrating its 12th annual Flag Day to commemorate the accession of the late President Sheikh Khalifa in 2004. Now, every year, schools and businesses across the UAE raise the flag to show their appreciation for the Emirates, and this comes just a few weeks after the Israeli ambassador to the UAE ended his term there, but so far there has been no replacement for him, prompting many questions. Well, joining us now is Flor Hassan Nahoum, the Deputy Mayor of Jerusalem and the co-founder of the UAE-Israel Business Council. So, Flor, Amir Hayek, the only Israeli ambassador to an Arab country who did not return to Israel following the outbreak of the war, completed his term almost 3 weeks ago, leaving one of Israel's most friendly allies in the Gulf without an ambassador. So what is going on here? Why has he not been replaced?
Well, I think that's probably a political question. This would normally be a political appointment. Amir Hayek was appointed by Yair Lapid when Yair Lapid was the foreign minister of the state of Israel. So I'm assuming that the prime minister is looking to see who will appoint. It's not unfortunately a career diplomat. It's a political appointment, and I think that's probably being delayed right now because we're in the middle of a war, and it's a difficult thing to have to deal with. But I think it's actually it's bad not to have somebody there, and it's not great to have somebody there who's not appropriate and who the Emiratis, feel that they can work with. And that's a challenge. We need to appoint somebody, and somebody good, pretty quickly.
Now, the UAE is still a major supplier of Gaza aid. How has the war impacted relations with Israel?
Well, in the Middle East, rhetoric and reality can be two different things. I think overall, the Abraham Accords are holding strong when you think about the year that we've had. First of all, I want to remind everyone that last year, a month after October 7th, the Arab League met in order to boycott Israel, major boycott, and to roll back the Abraham Accords. And they couldn't pass the boycotts, and they couldn't pass the ending of the Abraham Accords because our Abraham Accords partners would not let them do that. A few months back in April, when Iran attacked Israel, we also saw the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia, who's still not an Abraham Accords signee. We saw them actively helping Israel that night. And what's even more interesting is that they admitted that they helped us a couple of days later. And this year, believe it or not, even in the toughest year, in the toughest environments, we're going to end up the year with $4 billion in trades in goods and services with the UAE. So overall, there may be certain declarations, but ultimately, they're still very much in the Abraham Accords, very supportive of the Abraham Accords. And in fact, they tell their people that thanks to their relationship with Israel, they can actually help the Palestinians in Gaza even more. And they are the only country that set up a field hospital actually for the Gaza.
Now, with the upcoming U.S. elections and the potential for Trump's return to office, where do you think the future of the Abraham Accord stands? I mean, what lessons has the Arab world learned about what it means to maintain diplomatic relations with Israel during times of war like what we're seeing right now?
Well, that's an interesting question. And Saudi Arabia, I think just before Trump lost the last election, Saudi Arabia was certainly very close to making peace with Israel. Before October 7th, again, they were close with building peace with Israel. And what Saudi Arabia really wants is a defense pact with the United States so that the United States can stand strong behind them if something happens with the Islamic Republic of Iran. I think traditionally the Republican administration, certainly Trump, has been much tougher on Iran. And I think that for the most part, that's what the Sunni moderate countries want to see. They want to see toughness against the Islamic Republic of Iran.
All right, Flor, I'd like to thank you so much for joining us, giving us your insight on the current relationship that we're seeing with the UAE and other Gulf Arab countries. Obviously, we're going to have to wait for the U.S. elections to kind of see what the future holds. But we're going to move on now to a